E muito boa noite, meus nobres amigos e amigas. Sejam bem-vindos a mais uma edição do Acesso Redvamp, hoje especialmente no sábado. So, my noble friends, we have a special interview with Long Adieux, directly from Italy. Come on to the main stage, my dear friends. And there you are.
Hello.
And there you are.
Hello,
There you are, Frankie.
Hello, everybody.
Grave Kelly. It's amazing have you with us this evening here. I'm very happy. It's a great time. It's a great time because I'm fan of Long Adieux. And here in Brazil, we are listening to Long Adieux since last year. And you both conquered many fans here on Fantasy, on Red Vamp Nights, and in our DJ sets. And it's really amazing, and we are very happy. And now we have you here. And please tell me more about the origins of the band's name, Le Long Adieux. I read something about a Russian move, but you have a very interesting story from the Italian fumettes, correct?
Yes, we took the name from an issue of Dylan Dog. This one, Le Long Adieux, comes from here.
Wow!
It's the long goodbye as the Muratova movie. But the reality is that we were fans, huge fans of Dylan Dog, and we decided to take the name from our favorite one.
It's an Italian, a famous Italian comic, and is usually about a private investigator, about private detective, about horror facts, and but this issue is quite different because it's more romantic, is about an
melancholy, nostalgia,
something like a teenage love story.
Yeah, a summer teenage love story in moonlight.
Settled, yes, in this imaginary place called Moonlight, and so this is it. So this is the reason why the idea came from Federica from Grave Kelly, and Federica is correct. And so we took this name from this comic book that we read in our teenage years.
It was the first argument when we met each other 10 years ago, remember?
I remember, yes. It was
one of the first things I told you. Do you love Dylan Dog?
Yes, I love Dylan Dog, and it was. I'm quite surprised it is famous in Brazil too.
Yeah, I discovered 5 minutes ago.
About 5 minutes ago, because we thought it was just an Italian comic, because maybe you can think it is in the rest of the world is famous the Marvel comics or the DC comics like Spider-Man, Superman. Sometimes we think that it was just an Italian fact.
Yes, but I think Sergio Bonelli is famous even in some other place than Italy. I don't know.
Yes,
and
that's all.
Oh, here in Brazil we have the Italian fumettes are very renowned, at least for the people of my generation now with 40 years. But yes, Martin Mystery is a great name.
Martin Mystery.
Oh, Martin Mystery is.
I'm a huge fan of Martin Mystery.
He loves it.
Because I love science fiction. So Martin Mystery is really amazing.
Yes, it's really amazing. The Tex Wired, the cowboy, it's a very loved Italian character here on Brazil too. The people have large collections of this comic book here. It's a great theme. And from Italy, particularly, Italy have a great illustrator called Milo Manara, who produced great albums. Yes, I love his historical albums. Yes, he's very provocative. His art is very sensual, but he is a great illustrator. His drawings are very amazing. Yes, it's a great artist from Italy, principally on the comics, that I have great respect with his work. It is very good to know that Dylan Dog, I have a great friend here on Brazil, Dylan Pegoret, and his name was given to him because Dylan Dog.
Sometimes Dylan Pegoret in the chat room.
Okay. Do you want to see an original picture from one of the?
When he was at school, he met one of the illustrator of Dylan Dog that made a drawing for him. And it was my birthday present.
Yes, it was a last birthday present. I can take it in 20 seconds if you want to show it on the program.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Please, I will love it. See.
Okay.
Come back soon.
Yes, I think.
Milo Manara, it was the dad of Valentina.
Oh, Valentina, Guido Crepakis. Am I right? Yeah, another great illustrator. He's very, very much very provocative than Manara. I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
No. There is the light. That
yes. The light.
I don't know how to.
From the highest part.
Oh, amazing!
It was made by
an original Dylan Dog one.
From Claudio Castellini, who was the main designer of Nathan Never, another Italian comic, and he drew 4 or 5 issues of Dylan Dog. I met him at high school about 20 or 30 years ago. 20.
Amazing! This is an unexpected part of our interviews when we suddenly talk about comics, and the most part of our guests are fan of comics, fumetti in Italy. This is great. I have the opportunity to see Rodney Orpheus from Cassandra Complex in his interview with me, showing during the interview his comic book collections. This is very intimate. This is very special for me that I'm an enthusiast from comic books since the 90 years. That is very great, my friends. Yeah, it's very
same here.
This is very, very good. I had a next question to you, my noble friends. Dylan Dog is a fumetti, a comic book much appreciated here in Brazil, and contain that's time when my English apparently suddenly fails. But yes, please, there's a history of Dylan Dog called The Last Farewell in English, and Le Long Adieux, The Last Farewell. Please tell me a bit more about all this.
The meaning of the name in the band and stuff like this.
As Frank told you before, usually the arguments of Dylan Dog are about occultism and the other side and mysteries. Yes, but some issue has more in common with melancholy, nostalgia, and sometimes Dylan Dog speaks about music or name some of our bands, especially the Smiths, for example. And we've chosen the Long Goodbye because it has this wonderful mood of melancholy, and it reminds me of my
youth, teenage.
Ero pure più grandicella. It reminds me the mood I have when I had to left my place by the sea and come back in the city when holidays were finished. And that melancholy was a sort of state of mind that I took with me until these days. So
this is, I think, the main reason of the name, because it is such it contains the most of the things that we would like to express in music. And when when summer comes to an end or stuff like that, this kind of melancholy, this kind of such
the end of the summer is something similar to our age.
Exactly. The end of an age, the end of the youth, and at the same time we choose the French languages, the French language, because it gives a, that old movie with sad French music, like noir music, the noir movies, and so it goes to Le Long Adieux. Sorry for my English, because it's quite English, difficult to express complex
when we speak in Italian, like we can put in the same phrase about 100 words. In English, it's very difficult to express like we do in Italian.
And as you may know, we are logoroic and we love to talk. So if we talk too much, please stop us.
Mm-hmm. And well, yes, I had this difficulty many times since I'm speaking Portuguese, and sometimes to speak in English some ideas, some sentences, it's really very hard. It's really very hard for me to.
Yeah.
By example, when I was nervous or with some anxiety for doing something, oh man, it's really terrible. I can't speak in English under these circumstances. I can't write in English. I can't speak, and I need to take a time, take breathe, okay, and count with my luck to realize back to when Chandra say for me back to speaking English. I think that it's very strange, but this happens to me too. Don't worry, my noble friends. And giving sequence into our talk, and please, when you are together creating music, composing music for the Long Adieux, how are your most important influences, inspirations when are you creating music, writing lyrics? And please tell me a bit more about this process.
There are inspirations for music, inspiration for lyrics, and the inspiration for the mood in which we create our songs. For me, are especially, I think I'm the greatest fan in the world of The Cure. So it's impossible for me to don't name it. It's my first inspiration. But I love 80s music in general, in every genre that developed in the 80s. Obviously, I'm into new wave, into 77 punk, for example, or electro pop, synth pop. For the lyrics, I love Italian wave acts too. My favorite one is named Diaframma, and there is a lot of influences in the things we do together, because we come from another genre too. For example, 10 years ago, we used to play a totally different genre because we came from a lot of hard rock original bands, always with 80s influences, but in hard rock. And it has a completely different approach, and it's completely different in come si dice nel linguaggio.
It's a kind of
it's another kind of language, and me, I prefer to. I think it best represents me the wave attitude and the wave gloom, sort of nostalgia, than the hard rock one.
Yes, as Federica said before, we were raised and born in hard rock and heavy metal. I played metal for several years, and so I was born listening to the most famous band in the jams, like Iron Maiden, or Alice Cooper, or stuff like that. Then I came to the dark side, I mean bands like Sister of Mercy and or Fields of the Nephilim, stuff like that, with a trade union in some bands, like some symphonic black metal bands like Cradle of Filth, with all the Gothic and Victorian aspirational imaginary. But above all, I think we like melody. So for me, but for Federica's too, I cannot. I have to name all the cinematic world. So stuff like Hans Zimmer or Morricone or James Horner or Alexander Desplat, the composer of The Shape of Water, that kind of ethereal music, and that's all.
Well, yes, Alice Cooper, it's amazing. Ennio Morricone, it's a great reference to the two names that I appreciate too much. And it's very amazing. May listen this and to know this on this interview, my noble friends. I prepare here. I have here a video clip, of course, from the Long Adieux. That is one of you most popular songs actually here on Brazil, and we can't realize thanks to the online party without playing this song. And let's watch this clip, and after the clip we may talk about this music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
gosh. Oh, I need to say, Frankie, Federica, um, what song is this? Since the song appears in our timeline, me and Zendra, whoa, we love it. We fall in love with the song. She's an amazing song. She's you sing her parts on it in Italian, parts in English, and this is very
Yes.
amazing. And has all a history about the moon and appear role in the song. But please tell us for our audience a bit more about this marvelous song.
It's her fault. It's she had the idea of the lyrics, so go on.
Oh, okay. There is a connection between this question and the thing we are doing now. The fact we write both in Italian and in English is because sometimes Italy lets me express better than I do in English. So for the chorus, that is a part with less words, I prefer English. But in the strofe, come si dice?
In the verse.
In the verses, I always prefer Italian because I am obbligata.
She was quite.
Costretta.
She was constricted.
I'm constricted to express. I cannot sing it without thinking and feeling what I'm saying. So for me, it's very important to sing in Italian sometimes because it's more natural and spontaneous than in English. Because I let myself go easier. And the lyrics speaks about the moon. The moon that one day in 1983 is jealous because there is wonderful music in the air, Visage, Ultravox, wonderful music to hear, but wonderful music for dancing too. And the moon comes in a club. She transvests herself and meet Pierrot in a club. The club is the same of Terminator, Tech Noir. And she meets Pierrot, and they have a short love story, and then she had to come back to the sky, and the same story of the video. In the video, we try to
express this concept. And this is about the lyrics. You know, most of the lyrics are made by Federica because obviously.
No, 1983. We made it together.
We made it together, but the concept.
Kitchen, remember?
Yes, we wrote it in the kitchen. But most of the lyrics, starts from Federica's idea. And about the music, it depends on the track. On this one,
I had nostalgia for the 80s. I am sincere. With the first lockdown, I've done a long trip in the 80s music, and I felt a lot of nostalgia. And in that period, I discovered that Darkwave music was going on. It was not stopped in the 80s. And there are acts like She Passed Away, Boy Archer, and a lot of wonderful music now. So when we met together, we decided to do a song too about our nostalgia for the 80s, for the leggerezza, come si dice.
Yes, this is an hymnus dedicated to the the kind of relaxing music of happiness of the 80s, but it's an happiness that is mixed with melancholy and a kind of bittersweet sadness. So we tried to make this kind of song. It's not gloomy, but it's not happy. It is an quite fast beat. so you can dance, but at the same time we think that
dancing with tears in your eyes. Yeah.
We try to dance with tears in your eyes, as Federica says. We try to do to make an epic song with some symphonic or operistic part, but in our way. So it's not just dance, but
Okay.
I hope you. It's quite difficult to express this concept, not only in English but in Italian too. But I hope we were able to do
you
it.
may speak in Italy, not problem. I think here in Brazil, I believe that we have Italian. It's very easy for our audience to understand.
For us too. We followed some of your transmission in which you were talking in Portuguese, and it was very easier to understand. I'm not able to answer or to comment, but Portuguese for me it's very easy to understand.
Oh, isso é muito bom.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yes, we are talking about melancholy. Yes, melancholy, it's a very interesting thing, but I don't see melancholic as something exactly bad. Yes, melancholy is a bit Saturnine, I think. Yes, for me, who loves the read Italian author called Pico della Mirandola from the Renaissance times, they speak about melancholy with some allegories, some metaphors, like melancholy is the meeting of the earth and the water. And when I read something about this, I see melancholy was the time that I'm sit on a rock near of a river in some farms, in some wide places that I love these places, and yes, we are sitting here listening the sound of the waters of the river flowing, the animals near of us, the sound of the leaves on the trees, and all this is very magic and transport us for some feelings inside in our chest and disconnect us with some memories of us. But anyways, we are connected by the melancholy with some memories of our lives. But even near of a river in a wide place, I feel a connection much more wider and open. And yes, then I began to write some interesting fairy tales when I prove so many times of melancholy. It's a curious thing for me as writer.
For us too, but I think it's very creative to decide to dive into melancholy, because some people loves to cacciare.
Some people love to
don't accept to feel melancholy, but it's not a negative thing.
Yes, you know very well. I know you are an author, a novelist. You have correct me if I'm wrong, but you have wrote many novels, so you can understand perfectly this concept. Melancholy for everyone that have an artistic attitude is cannot be a bad thing. Is a pure form of the purest form of creation, probably. I can ask you a question. Why should I write a song or a novel when I'm happy?
Yeah.
If I'm happy, I have other things to do. So maybe, Schubert, Mozart, or in literature, many novelists, they wrote music or books when they were, or novels when they were maybe melancholic
or sad.
or sad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a way to see the melancholy. Yes, melancholy sometimes remembers a past good part of my life in the mountains and the forest of a wide place, a very beautiful place and wide, called Serra da Mantiqueira, Mountains of Mantiqueira, I think in English. I'm not exactly sure, but there we have forest, and this was that amazing kind of forest with great trees, and the sun and the trees are in the higher of the trees. They are very close, and the light sun becomes little green when you walk through this forest, and this becomes a forest more dark in the afternoon moments. And yes, it's a kind of melancholy that I experience too when I walk, and I remember me walking through this wide place on my teenage times. But it's a good sensation, not exactly some kind of dark and bad thing. Was a it's interesting mix of feelings that we prove when we walk through wide places and experiences these melancholies. It's very interesting.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. It's a
It keeps you in the past.
It keeps you in the past. It's a very strong kind of aspiration. Probably the I can say the purest one. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. But it is very strong. Melancholy is a powerful sensation, I suppose, to create something in every kind of artistic way, language.
That's the fact, my noble friends. And now I have one more song from the Long Adieux we listen together.
Silenzi ballano, lupi neri
My noble
Hello.
friends, this was your first hit here in Brazil.
Yeah.
And when we present the Long Adieux for our audience, first in Fantasy Online Party and then on Red Vamp Nights. And yes, please tell us a bit more about Goodbye, your first great hit here on our land.
Oh, it was the first time we were composing something together. And as I told you before, we came from about 10 years doing a lot of other genres like rock, hard rock. And it was a completely different approach. Me, for example, I was listening to New Wave since I was a child. So mi sono trovata per caso, come si dice? I started to sing in hard rock bands for a pure case, because I always wanted to do this. And it was 10 years that I was looking for a wave musician to do a duo with. And when I found Frank, it was finally the moment to do what I was wanting to do for all that years. But the problem was that it was difficult to find a vocal line since where to start. So it was a period in which I've done a million experiments with the voice. And I finally found myself when I was listening to an Italian band named Mattia Bazar. And the singer that she is a great voice. She used some lyric,
some
opera parts sometimes. And I tried to do the same. And I liked it. And I was feeling very secure in that style. So we decided to do the song in this way. And as I was saying before, I've chosen to write the lyrics both in Italian and in English, because I wanted these lyrics to be important, because it's about all that situation in life in which you don't have the chance to say goodbye to someone that goes away, and you'll never have the chance anymore to say goodbye. So I wanted to do a song about the importance of distacco, una separazione.
Of the loss.
Of the loss, yeah.
The loss, you know, the importance of say goodbye to someone before the loss. And this is one of the topic we tried to explain in our song. It was Federica's idea, and we tried to do that in this song. That it was the first one. I think probably we made the most part of the music in something like 45 an hour, and then she made the vocal lines, we made the lyrics, and so that's all.
It was ready in 2 weeks.
It was ready and finished, mixed in about 2 weeks. We really love this song. We are really, it is like a song, you know.
Every song is like a song for us.
Song, but this is the first one, so we had a special love for it. For it, I don't know. I stole.
Yes, I see. And we have here, my noble friends, we have here a great, great friend, a great DJ from United Kingdom. DJ Vader is with us this evening.
Ari.
Hello, Ari.
Hello.
Yes, he played a great DJ set last night on Absolution NYC. And it's very good to have you with us this evening, Vader. Be very welcome, my noble friend. Good to have you here on twitch.tv Redevamp. Yes, it's very good. Oh, my friends, we have some our audience make some questions here, and some questions are very, very fun, and some are very interesting. Frank, our listener Giulio Fioco love your sunglasses on Goodbye clip, and he asks which model of sunglasses this, where I can find some a very similar sunglasses. What's the model of the sunglasses? I think me too think it's a very cool sunglasses.
Okay, thank you. I think that the perfect answer could be given by Federica because she's the owner of the sunglasses, and
it's an historical model because it was named in The Boys of Summer. It's the famous Ray-Ban Wayfarer, owned by Debbie Harry and Tom Cruise in
Top Gun.
No, not only. No, that was the Aviator model. Wayfarer is in Risky Business.
Okay.
Yeah, and in Blues Brothers too, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
It's Ray-Ban Wayfarer.
Oh.
Yeah, the classical one.
Thank you. And I have a question here from my beloved Chandra Sarrasca. He asked to you what you do in your relaxed times when you're not recording or composing music. What your preferring things to do?
Okay.
What we do when we relax? We relax well.
I can talk for everybody. She never relaxed. She's always doing something with the keyboards or the vocal lines or composing or writing lyrics. She's always or
with my son.
Okay.
I have a 6-year-old child, and if I'm not doing something in musical subjects, I do something with my child.
Because she's a mom, you know, it's the best important thing in her life.
Not only. We have a dog and 2 cats.
We have a dog and 2 cats. Now the dog is sleeping and the cats are around
sleeping,
here. Yeah. And so Federica's life is about music and his child, and we have this small her child, and then we have this small farm, the dogs and the cats.
You forgot to put into the list, and Frank too.
And me too. Thank you. And what about me? I play chess, but I'm not good in this. I love to read. Sometimes I write.
He's an
just
author
an
too.
hobby, but I'm an author. I wrote a novel and
about
some short novel about vampires.
About vampires.
And
it's a subject.
And I love to. I'm studying saxophone. By the way, we love all the things that we love. People, we love to read. We love to listen to the music. We love to going around, have a walk in the park, watching movie.
Join Twitch parties.
When we can.
When we are not so much tired and
because of the time fuse and.
Che altro facciamo nel nostro tempo libero?
I don't know.
La lavatrice.
And doing
dishwashing. Homeworks.
Going to the basketball match of the child.
And we are in lockdown, so what we usually done when we wanted to relax now is totally changed because in the first lockdown we were totally closed. So for 2 months I finished all my reserves of ideas for relaxing moments. So now relax is too much. I always have to do something because there is lockdown outside and I always have to do something to forget. Because if I stop myself and I remember that outside there is a desert after 6 p.m. o'clock, it makes me anxious. So I have to keep active.
Yes, yeah? She's like a kind of hurricane. I'm quieter than her, but she's always moving. And
mm-hmm. I understand, my nobles. Oh yes, Frankie. Some Sunderno Moon here on our chat talking about you are an author. You have some books published already.
Yes, I wrote a novel the last year. Is called in Italian Mondo Vampiro. I think the correct translation is a Vampire World. It was edited the last year, and I do short novel. I have to say that it's from about 7 or 8 months that I'm not writing, but it is it depends on the period, on the time you have to do. It was very difficult to write my first novel because it was the first time, and I don't know if I want to do another novel, but maybe one day. I prefer to write short novel on noir or science fiction genres, but who knows, maybe one day I'll write again another novel.
This is very good to know. Please, after the interview, we will talk more about Mondo Vampiri, Vampire World. Okay, I really appreciate this. We will talk more in the next days about this, my noble friend. And we have here one more song from Long Adieux, of course. And this next song is a cover. And I must say, I love your covers and your versions of great gothic bands that you are producing. All these covers are really amazing, but this has something very special, and I will play for us. And after we talk a bit more about this cover. here you are again.
Yeah.
My noble, this is a very beautiful cover of Silksy and Silksy, yes, Silksy is the right pronunciation here. Someone told me.
Nobody knows. Somebody says Susie. Someone says Susie. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Now I feel more comfortable. This is a kind of my great doubts how to speak the name, how to speak the name.
Yeah.
It's a very this
I have the
happens.
same doubt. It's 20 years. I wonder. Susie.
I have to ask to my auntie.
Ask her in person.
I have to ask to my auntie because she's from Brighton, so maybe she knows.
Yes, there's possibilities. I read here on the chat that Frank, you are a great fan of Sherlock Holmes from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Is that right?
Yes, this is absolutely right. I think I've read everything about Sherlock Holmes, and at least I think 5 or 7 times, and I was absolutely. I received every 3 months at my home, and yes, you're right. I'm absolutely in love with Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, it's a great histories. I love the recent movies with the actor who made Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. I really appreciate this movie, but I like that very more old movies from Sherlock Holmes.
Redbone.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is. We have here DJ Vadiretro help us here on our question how to say is Silksy, it's Susie. He offered to us, I think, a third way of say this name is Susie. Susie. Yeah?
Susie.
Susie.
Okay, he is from United Kingdom. He must know what he's saying. I'm sure about this. Oh, okay. Well, I will learn to speak on this way on the next editions.
I always thought it was a game of words because her real name is Susan, and she was in love with native Indians. So yes, it's Susie. Susie.
Yeah, make a great sense this to me. Oh, I have a question about covers, my noble friends. How can I say? How do you choose the songs for these wonderful covers that you are doing in Le Long Adieux? What are the process to choose the songs?
No, we both choose the songs, but we do it for a lot of reasons. The first reason is the love for the song. For example, I always wanted to do this song, Frank. Please let me do it. And he says, okay, I love it too. So let's do it. This is the first reason, love. The second reason is to enrich our songwriting of other influences, because we didn't write on this style before. So we wanted to feel at home little by little through some cover. Sometimes I need something more with a feminine sensibility. So for me, the goddess of this genre is Susie, and Israel, which we've chosen it for this. Or maybe we've chosen something more underground like B-movie. We never put in the YouTube, but we have a cover of B-movie. Or we've chosen China Girl from David Bowie. Or we always wanted to do something from Duran Duran, but we didn't.
Obviously, The Cure and
our influences.
The first one, I have something interesting to tell you about the cover. You know, we met about 10 years ago. Then for some times we were distant. So about 10 years ago, I've seen on Facebook a cover of Federica of The Cure. She was playing a night like this. So I called her and I said, "Oh, you like The Cure?" Because as I've told before, we were I was born in metal and hard rock, and so it was
a surprise for him.
Surprise. Because, you like The Cure too?
We never talked before about my love for The Cure and for Gothic culture. And when we met, we went in a rock lab, so we never had the chance to speak of anything else.
Yes, she was blonde, and I was with a leopard fur coat, so it was very different.
Unrecognizable.
Now it sounds quite strange, but I love to talk about these times, and it's strange that is with a cover that we met once again, and that's all.
La domanda però non era
quella. This is great, noble friends. Yes, we have some people. We have Sander Kurt here on chat asking for more David Bowie covers from you. They love China Girl, but I think Sander Moon wants more covers. And yes, I think that we will love to see one more cover from Bowie on your next choices. It will be great.
From each cover we learn something new. From David Bowie, I took the importance of a breathe. When you listen David Bowie singing, you always feel the air moving in his muscles. It's wonderful. And I always wanted to do something more obscure of the Berlin period. But sometimes we don't have the time, because we started to write and record the album, and sometimes we have to take some time to relax, and when we want to relax we have to do a cover, because the cover keeps you active doing music, but it helps you find some inspiration, and it makes you learn something you didn't know before. For example, with Bowie, the importance of breathe.
But I can say to Sandra, maybe we'll do another one. Now we are taking inspiration from David Bowie in another way. We are writing new material, and I hope she'll find in our new songs something from the latest Bowie period. We are trying to insert in some saxophone elements.
Some saxophone parts.
Like in Black Star. Black Star was his swan song. It was definitely amazing. And in our little, we are trying to do something similar. It's clear that we are not David Bowie, but we are trying to be inspired by him.
This is absolutely amazing. I would say isso é promissor em português, but I don't say how to say that. But yes, this is amazing. I feel a kind of hype here. This will be great. This will be very amazing. Our friend from United Kingdom, Reptile, DJ Vader Retro, suggested here rock and roll suicide will be a amazing choice.
Okay, we can.
It's a
Spoiler?
theme very dear to us, so we were thinking it before.
We have said that we have loved glam rock.
Yeah,
I suppose. So why not? Why not?
Yeah, I love Ziggy Stardust, and rock and roll suicide is a theme very dear to us. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a great idea. My noble friends, we have one more song from you, Long Adieux, to play here.
Can you help me?
Glitters ain't no gold, a gentle wind a tongue to a song. Footsteps on the road to pass inside of where an emptiness. Who will charge the siren voice? Moon is nothing up above. To fill with blue your darkness. As she was getting through into the deepest blue, or chance to find the blue. Oh, the girl was faceless, blowing too. Still she smiled the day before. Recently, along came out from the closet of the skeletons. How that's don't dress. Who's behind the siren's voice? So them standing to what noise to bring eternal silence. Yeah, she was getting through into the deepest blue. Oh, chance to find the blue. Oh, the girl was faced and blowing too. Florida, well done. Not as long you down.
Why do you seem so scared? All I wanted to do was play with
Oh, my noble friends. Oh, what amazing video clip is this, and what hypnotic song. Please share with us a bit more about this song, about this clip. It's true amazing.
Oh, while we was writing and recording the album, we wanted sometimes to keep the contact with the people we knew in this month. So we decided to put out a new single. And this song is very important because it has a deep meaning for us, because it speaks about the voice. The voice, aiutami.
Voices inside us.
Not only the voices that we hear when we are not secure of ourselves, and we are not sure that we can support another day on in this life, or maybe the voices that asks help from other persons that are close to us, but we can't translate. We don't receive it as a help request. So it speaks about the feeling that you have when you realize that you didn't heard someone that was asking you to help him. And I've lost a friend of mine 1 month ago, and it was very mi ha colpito.
It was very impressive to her.
Yeah, it was very sad. So sometimes, as it happens with melancholy, when I'm sad, it's a moment that I have to write or create something, because it's something so authentic and spontaneous. So I prefer to say and to express in music something that I really feel, and not something that speaks of things I don't really feel inside. And the video is in line, as in 1983, is in line with the lyrics. So it speaks about the importance of hear the voices around you, and don't hear the voice inside you that tells you that it's better you throw the towel down and declare yourself beaten. Giusto? Beaten? Sconfitto?
Yes, absolutely. And as you may know, the video was directed by Federica, as the previous one. And yes, I think it's a song has a darker mood than the previous ones. On the other way, it's more new wave. You know, we felt the influence of bands more mainstream, like Duran Duran, but in a darkest way. So it was a very creative moment. We wrote this song in about 2 days, because
tell him the story.
Because there is an interesting story about this one. We were talking with Jason Ledyard, DJ Jason, to
yes, that's a song to put before our set list
in the New Year's Day show. So we tried to complete a song.
We answered yes, we have a lot of songs finished, but the truth was that we wanted to finish a song for that occasion. So in 48 hours, I think, in 2 days, we did the song.
It was 4 a.m. in the morning when we finished this one. Then we had a rough mix, and we sent to him. And then we ultimate this one in the some week later, but the main form of the song was made in 48 hours. We really love this song. We really love the mood of the song, and that's all.
Mm-hmm. it's very full of meaning. It's a very powerful moment, and yes, we can feel this when we listen the silence voice. It's a very I escape the words in English to me, but but I would just want to say it's a powerful song that we will play many times. And yes, there's something on your voice that song, Federica. There's something in the music, Frankie. I can't say exactly what is, but there's something very powerful in the song. I'm sure about this, my noble friends. And I have here two questions here. Two questions here. One of them comes from our listener, Camida here from Brazil. And yes, it's a question
Capita.
that I will make for you this night. How have these pandemic times caused by COVID-19 has been for you in Italy? How are you and the bands are dealing with these hard times? May you tell us a bit more about this?
We met after 10 years for the first time in the first lockdown. So for us as a band, the lockdown wasn't a problem because we were able to work with computers. So even from the distance, we were able to write songs or play covers, even by the web. Then when the first lockdown went off and we started to live again, we met and everything was almost normal. We spent a normal summer, almost normal, but there was always something in the substrato.
Something creeping.
Yeah.
You know.
Because everything seemed like before, but it wasn't like this because people was scared everywhere. So even in my holiday place, for example, the situation was very strange because people was afraid of foreign persons. So I came from Rome, and every time I went there this summer, people were scared because I came from Rome and it was a big city and it was easier to take COVID from a foreign person. Then in autumn, in the period we were writing 1983, and in the days we were about to put it out, there comes another restrictions. So after 6 o'clock, every bar is closed, every restaurant is closed, every shop is closed, and we can take even the car after 10 o'clock p.m. So it's a strange situation because we are able to work, to go to school, but we are not able to
have fun,
have a social life. So if a person works all the day, after 6 o'clock, he doesn't have the time to have care of friends or have a coffee with someone else. It's a very strange situation, and as I told before, I prefer to keep always active in my days because if I stop and think, I realize that there is a strange situation and there is the risk of dying. In Italy, there is a lot of problems with negationism. People that don't believe that COVID exists because maybe they don't accept the idea of have the risk of dying. So it's a very strange situation. It's very difficult, and the chance we had to spend some hour relaxing, listening to good music, reaching person in other parts of the world for us is so important because human being needs some time to relax. You can spend all the time 24 hours a day always worried, afraid. We need to stay close to the others. Human being is born to stay with with the persons. We love social life. We have to stay close. It's very difficult to explain to my son that is so small, he's 6 years old. It's very difficult to explain him that he can't caress his friends.
Can give an hug to another child or another one. This is strange. There are strange times, you know, and we hope we'll finish soon, but it's not. So I fear that the end of this age is not so near, because you can say every day there are lots of death of this pandemic, and we don't know when we can start again our previous life. So who knows? The only thing we can say is to try to do the best we can as human people, as humans, but we don't know what can be happen in the future. So this is I think that in Italy is not different from the rest of the world.
Yes, are terrible and are terrible and are had hard times. In here in Brazil, we are facing great problems due to the negationists. Here, they are very problematic for all us here. But anyway, let's now think in the best things of the life and good things. And reading here on chat that the peoples in French, United Kingdom, and here on Brazil are very waiting for the possibilities of a great tour of the Long Adieux after all this scale, after all this time of pandemics.
It will be great.
Same here. We'd love to tour and to know in person all the people we've met in these months. That it was incredible, because I am the last person who believed that in the web there could be something sentimental. But in this period, I feel I feel the warm, even from a little chat room in a Twitch party. It's wonderful. For me, the web has a new potential that I didn't notice before. So I'm looking at the good part of the situation. The good part of this situation is evolution, because even in a difficult situation like this, we are discovering new ways of stay together and survive and keep the affection and aggregative situation together. So for me, it's a beautiful moment anyway.
You know, it's important to meet people like you, like Sandra, like Jason Ledyard, or DJ Vaderetro, or Zinna, or Sandra Dernoncourt. In moment like this, it's very important to be close, to feel the affection, like Federica says, of the other people. And if
it's the gasoline for life.
Yes, and
life is like an engine. The gasoline is interaction with other persons. So receiving affection, even from the web, for us, is wow.
Right? I think for everyone it's important to speak with other humans. We are a social animal, you know. So that's good. Maybe one day we'll meet in person. I don't know. I hope so. But for now,
same here.
We have to point on this important aspect of life. Socializing even on the web.
It's very important, my noble friends. And I I'm afraid of say my next question because in this interview it's our last question from this evening, my friends. But I feel that you will return here on Access Redevamp many more times. But this this evening will be our last question. But this question is a kind of tradition in our radio show, Vox Vampirica, with our guests, and becomes a tradition here on Access Redevampi. And no one escaped from this question, and we already listed many most surprising answers to this question, since philosophers like Luis Felipe Pondé from Brazil to many other friends, even in Italy, like the Lena Fossi from Killian Camera, surprised all us here too. But this is our classical question. Frank and Federica, which are your favorite vampire characters, or even vampire in movie or in books or in video game or in formats from all times, my noble friends?
Vado?
How many days we have?
I think it's about 5 minutes, so street. Oh, there are a lot of classical movies and novels about, but some years ago I've seen a Swedish movie, and it's very strange because it's a modern one, but it touched me so much. The movie is named Let Me In. In Italian is Lasciami entrare, and it's about the story of a female vampire, and she's a little girl, a schoolgirl, and it touched me so much because it feels strange because when I think about vampires, I think about locations as England, Victorian age. But seeing a vampire acting in Sweden or in Finland, I don't remember, in 2000, it's strange. It gives to the vampire theme something colder because it's cold as Scandinavian cinema is. So Let Me In touched me so much, and I can say that it's my favorite movie about vampires in the last years. Also because I feel very close to the childhood, to that age. So everything that as a character in an age comprehends by 7 years till 14 is the age I feel more touched by. So Let Me In for me. For you?
It's a very difficult question. You know, I can name many classical movies from Bela Lugosi's Dracula to Bram Stoker Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola. Maybe we have missed one.
The Hunger.
The Hunger, obviously with David Bowie, but
Peter
probably I forgot to say before while I was talking with Federica. Only Lovers Left Alive.
Only Lovers Left Alive.
It was a masterpiece. You know, it was settled in a very original way. The music was perfect, but there are lots of vampire character or movies from Anne Rice characters, you know, Lestat, or who knows. It's very, very difficult. I don't think I can answer correctly to this question. We had I should speak for 1 or 2 hours, I suppose.
Oh, great movies, my noble ones. Great choices. I feel that I love all these movies, and particularly when we speak about Dracula of Francis Ford Coppola, my favorite scene is in the beginnings of the movie when Gary Oldman is truly angered, and he's facing three bishops from Orthodox Church, and then he say with in Romanian with much anger and furious and passion, if my beloved burns in hell, I shall burn there too. I, I love this part of that movie. It's the most romantic part of the movie for me. I love this sentence. It's a great, I'm not sure, but it's the most romantic sentence that I see
Yeah,
in
it is.
in a movie of about vampires. It's
You
a great.
have you are absolutely a great actor in doing this with the vocal of Gary Oldman. If my you are great in this, really.
Yes, it's a great time. Well, my noble friends, well, I'm sure that my audience present here on chat know how to match Le Long Adieux in the social networks and in the internet. But please, how can our audience and the people who gonna watch this interview on our channel in YouTube may find Le Long Adieux in social networks and even on internet?
We are so active in our Facebook page that is named Le Long Adieux, and we are very active there. Or we have an YouTube channel that is named Le Long Adieux too, and an Instagram account that is named Le Long
Le
Adieux.
Long Adieux.
And Bandcamp.
By the way, we have to say that the account Le Long Adieux New was made by us, but in a couple of days it will be taken down because we had a problem with Facebook. So the account to contact us is Le Long Adieux, or you can contact us by mail at lelongadieux at gmail.com.
The other page, Le Long Adieux New, is going to be cancelled because we were trying to do another account because we have some problem with
the old one.
Yeah, with the old one. But after some time, we decided to keep the old one because it's better. Anyway, we are so active. So
we will answer to anyone in the shortest time we can.
Yeah.
Via mail or via Facebook or on our personal profile.
Yeah.
Frank Marelli and
Federica Liquerizia Garenna.
Or Kelly Gray.
Grave Kelly.
Grave Kelly.
Grave Kelly, yeah. I'm not using it anymore. Sometimes I go there and have a look, but I always stay on Federica Liquerizia.
Oh, okay. I know how this kind of things happen. So many years ago, I chose have just one profile with my DJ and author name. For all that I realize, it's much more easy. Social networks take much time from us. Still many time from our living days. I think yes.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Yeah. The data social networks are very hard on this topic, my noble friend. Well, Frankie and Grave and even Federica, I wish thank you so much by your time, by your generosity, and all this amazing talking here this evening on Access Redevamp, my noble friends. Thank you so much by stay with us this evening.
For us too, it was a great pleasure to talk with you, and we had a lot of fun. Even if it's very difficult to explain in English, but it was a wonderful time together, and it's us who have to thank you, because we have always wonderful times, even when we come on your Redevamp and when we listen to you talking in Portuguese, speaking about a lot of interesting arguments, and you put a lot of passion in what you're doing. So we are very happy to be here and to receive your questions. For us, it's beautiful. We feel very happy. We're going to sleep. We're going to sleep so happy now.
By the way, it is the first time we
never had an interview in English in direct before, so it's the first time, but we are happy.
And yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow! I didn't knew. I don't know about this. Wow! It's a great honor to me. I'm very happy.
Oh, for us it's an honor. Well, and it's the first time that we was dreaming too. Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm not able to speak in English anymore. I'm too moved. So
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my noble friends. And I must say that the people's here in our chat, the people's here fall in love by both of you, and I think this evening you conquered much more fans to listen to Long Adieux. I'm sure about this.
Oh,
thank you.
You're always
thank
so
you
happy.
once again.
Thank you. Oh, thank you everybody in the chat too.
Oh,
we are really moved.
Really?
Thank you.
I'm shy. I become red, and I start to do thrill. So it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, my noble friends. And I hope and await you many times here on the next months. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.